United World Mission began with the vision of one pastor in Ohio, and he had formed his church around this program called World Mission. A lot of other churches were attracted to his vision, so they decided to unite to do a world mission together. They started with a focus in Cuba. The founder of UWM, Sidney Creel, came here to Havana with his father.
Aquí vino un tal Sidney Correr, era un caballo, lo alquiló y salió para la zona de cabañas. Él venía buscando un campo para ver dónde podía instalar un campamento.
And they said, Lord, when you want us to establish a Bible school in that place, have the horses stop.
Se bajó del caballo, se subió a la loma y dijo, sin duda que este es el lugar que Dios me va a dar para este campamento.
And there they started Las Palmas Bible Institute.
Y comenzó a hacer casas de guano, de tabla de palma, y comenzó a dar clases, y vinieron otros misioneros.
So in the early days when the first missionaries came, they immediately must have found receptivity because there were hundreds of Cubans that came to Christ during that period.
Aquí en Aguacate, cuando llegó los misioneros aquí, se recibió el evangelio como algo muy grande.
Churches were planted pretty rapidly. They equipped pastors for those churches, Cuban pastors.
Mis primeros años fueron en la familia pastoral de la Misión Mundial en Cuba. Ellos nos hablaban de los misioneros americanos, de todo el esfuerzo, el trabajo y el empeño que pusieron por la obra misionera en Cuba. Yo creo que fueron dejando huellas que fueron importantes en el desarrollo ya y en la vida de uno como pastor y también como siervo de Dios.
There seemed to be a lot of momentum, a lot of joy until the late 50s, early 60s when the missionaries were kicked out.
Tuvieron que retirar los misioneros norteamericanos, que fue una ley. Tuvieron que asumir un grupo de pastores y jóvenes, siguieron con el seminario. Un tiempo muy difícil porque hubo poca conexión con los hermanos de los misioneros de fuera, pero ahí luchamos y Dios nos bendijo y nos ayudó a mantener el seminario. En el año 67 hay un cambio. Ya detienen el campamento, lo cierran, detienen la obra. 23 años tuvo cerrada la iglesia esta y el campamento.
The church here was out of touch with the outside world. We didn't know what happened to those leaders, those pastors, and to find that they had prayed through the 60s, the 70s, into the 80s.
Y en el 90 comenzamos, tanto fue la lucha, que nos devolvieron la tierra, el campamento, y comenzamos a servir y a seguir trabajando en el Señor.
Beginning in the 90s, the churches were starting to grow and fill with young people that were seeking Christ. It was just a tremendous period for us of reconciliation with our brothers here. My first trip was in 1996. I went to a little house church in Sandino. There was the house church leader named Otoniel Martinez. When I arrived in a pouring rainstorm, I went into his living room, which had been gutted and turned into a church. There were about 30 young people under the age of 30. I thought that was the church. In fact, they were all church planters. They had been Christians less than 5 years, had a Bible but no other sense of training. They were all leading house churches.
Tuvimos la oportunidad de ponernos en contacto con John Bernal. Le abrimos el corazón, le pusimos en la mano lo que queríamos hacer en Cuba.
The amazing thing about Otoniel was rather than just pastor a church, he was discipling these young believers, envisioning them for outreach, equipping them so that they could go from town to town and establish these small house churches. Here's Otoniel envisioning and leading a mission movement from Cuba. God had put that calling in his heart. He never let go of it. He's been faithful over the years, and now God is building something out of his dream that's going to be a blessing to the world.
Hemos entrenado más de 2.000 líderes y misioneros, inclusive pastores incluidos ahí. Se han comenzado más de 800 nuevos grupos o células de oración, y de ese grupo tenemos un aproximado de 500 nuevas congregaciones ya declaradas como iglesia. Son datos que hemos estado manejando, que yo creo que son alentadores y que nos dan ánimo y nos dan fuerzas para el futuro, ¿eh?
Cuando trabajamos para Dios, Dios se manifiesta y hace la obra, porque Él es el que lo tiene todo en sus manos y es el que todo lo puede. Nosotros no podemos darle nada a Dios, simplemente nuestra vida y nuestro tiempo, más nada, ¿verdad?
No one could have predicted the outflow of the Holy Spirit on a whole generation of young people in the 90s. To fill garages and fill houses with these young people worshiping God who had been brought up to think there is no God. God answered the prayers of the Cuban people and the suffering of the Cuban church in ways that were way beyond what they could have imagined. Today, they have a vision beyond Cuba to the world, and the Cuban church feels a special calling to be a missionary church. They feel equipped by God to go to places where others won't go. They feel that they can suffer. They feel they can adapt. They're zealous. So there's a real mission movement in Cuba, and I believe that God is going to honor their prayers and their deep desire to be His missionary people all around the world.